communities coming together at a particular time, sharing what they're writing, maybe they're reading their letters to each other. And it's not a real party, but with COVID, sometimes that's the best we can do. And it's also a way to reach people from around the state who might not know about this issue as we do. So just sharing that as a strategy.
Well, I know I didn't know about it. I've heard about critical resistance being, people being against that. They want to, dumb down the kids, as Yvonne would say, about history as a whole. They want to now cherry pick the history, and I'm just trying to get an understanding. I can't, I write and everything, but before I write something, before I talk about it, I need to understand it. And it's easy to understand that Republicans and Democrats are in a sorority kind of thing where who's gonna be the top dog next, voting cycle. And as far as being empathetic or human, or I'm sorry, that's out the window. This is a game to them on Republicans on top, Democrats on the bottom, Democrats on top, Republicans on the bottom. It's this tit for tat volleyball kind of game now in the political realm. So how to break through all of that to bring them back to earth, to let them see that we as a nation need to show. Right now, other countries are just laughing at us. They're just laughing at us. If we're the most powerful nation in the world, we should act like it. We should show them, look at us and pattern after us. We should be that type of a nation, but we have this petty, childish game going on. And while they're working on doing all of this, let me see if we can get on top. Let's just work to get on top. I'm afraid we'll lose it all. We'll lose it all.
Yeah, so Dina, it's about getting reelected, Danita. So that's the game, and the reason why it means so much to both parties here. So, and you're right, we've got to figure out a way to get our message through all the gamemanship that's going on between the two parties. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
And we've got a long agenda, so I don't want to skip over important ideas here, but I do want to keep us moving on. So we've come up with some ideas about how to get our message out to people. So we've got to continue to work on that. We don't have a lot of time. So newspaper articles, that's a really good idea. Gay Element has sponsored several events that are fundraising events and that draw audiences. But we've got to get this message out across the states, not just here in Louisville or just in Fayette County. So we have to get this out to institutions that can contact a lot of people very quickly. And that's why I've got the Jefferson County Teachers Association on here. If we can motivate JCTA, their political leadership, to contact, they have 6,000 teachers in JCPS system. Send message to those 6,000 teachers, that would be a shot in the arm for us. So that's an issue that we've got to succeed at if we're going to make a dent in this upcoming state session.
Jim?
Yeah.
What is our ask of JCTA, and what steps are we taking to get an answer from them?
Yeah, so Barbara Boyd she and I, and hopefully Timur Rashad, a couple of others maybe, are trying to get an appointment with Brent McHugh, the leadership of JCTA, and convince him that what needs to happen is we need to send messages out to all 6,000 teachers and explain to them how important this is, and ask those 6,000 teachers to contact our state legislature. That's the first thing we need to do. And the second thing we need to do, so we're planning along with All History Matters, this organization, along with Akron, Defenders of Akron History from Georgetown, Rebecca Powell's organization. Together, we're planning a demonstration that will occur in Frankfurt 11th and 12th, January 11th and 12th. So we have to get teachers in Frankfurt on those 2 dates. So the other thing we're going to ask JCPA to do is to pressure the Board of Education, JCPS board, to allow those teachers off early, or maybe turn that one of those 2 days into an in-service day so a teacher can take off and attend that demonstration. So that's where we're going with that. Barbara Boyd, I'm wondering if you got information that would help us on that issue. Barbara, are you there?
You're on
Okay,
mute.
well, she was here. So I'm going to turn this back into.
She is here. I think she was on mute.
Oh.
I know she was
Barbara, you're on mute.
She was trying to get a meeting with Brent. She did tell me. But also, we've got several JCTA members on here, like Yvonne and Greg, that, you know, the ask could come from all of its members, not just
Yes.
left or right, but everyone. And, you
Yeah.
know,
All of the language I've heard from above is that they are prepared to support our opposition for these two bills. It's a matter of locking them into specific actions, I think, at this point. Is what the meeting with Brent would be about.
can somebody
I
mute
think we
Yvonne?
get
Can somebody mute Yvonne?
I think it's a big
I can't
ask.
hear you, Greg, because of the background noise. I'm sorry. Yvonne, can you mute? Whoever the host is should be able to do it.
Jim, if you're the host, you can
Yeah, maybe.
just go to participants.
How do I do that?
Hover over her box, and in the right-hand corner, there's 3 dots.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she hung up, so.
No, I think she's.
Yvonne, you're muted. You need to mute, Yvonne.
Yvonne, we can hear you.
Yvonne,
Or take the question, Yvonne.
Yvonne,
Yeah, because I was asking her and you, Greg, wasn't I? Sorry, I think it's quiet now. Go ahead.
I mean, I think it is a matter of getting Brent to holding his feet to the fire to where we see it as an action item in our weekly JCTA newsletter. I think
Could
we
we
need
also
to-
exert, oh, sorry. Could we also exert pressure over the speaker to like try and delay the bill? I know I'm originally from Texas and delay is everything. So should we also have an effort focused on sort of trying to persuade the speaker?
speaking to CRT concerns and the bills, now's the time to act. We just need to hold their feet to the fire to see some action. And I'm
David?
sorry, was it David I cut off?
Yeah, but go ahead, Greg.
Can David introduce himself? I'm not sure if I know who David is.
Hey, I'm a U of L student, I just graduated, and a recent resident as of the start of the pandemic, so that's who I am.
Hi, welcome.
Okay.
David, I think you have a good idea, and if you can maybe map out what that looks like and who we contact, I'd be happy to work with you on that if it doesn't get covered on this call. Because
Okay.
I think every angle is important.
Yeah, I'd like to hear Yvonne's input too on that, because she sees the JCTA from a different angle than I do.
Okay, so I'm asking people, please notice the agenda and put your comments in at appropriate times, please, so we don't interrupt each
Sorry,
other.
Jim.
So Greg, you're saying, I think what we need to do, Greg, you and I, Barbara, and if we can get Kumar Rashad, Natalie Rashad, to a meeting with Brett McCune, we might be able to make some progress in getting the word out to people in JCPS. Does that sound logical at this point?
It does, and I think it's doable, very doable.
Okay, and then KEA, we need their support too because they are a statewide organization and they can get this message out to hundreds of thousands of teachers. So, and the way to do that, get KEA to respond, is to get Britt McKeon, the leadership of JCTA, to talk to the leadership of KEA. So during this meeting with JCTA, I think what we do is we can not only convince JCTA to endorse our campaign, but we ask them to ask Britt McKeon to pressure KEA to help us reach teachers across the state. So, anybody else have a response to that or further questions?
Well, I'd like to ask for Barbara's input since she's worked at the KEA level. I do think that's the rub. Moving it from we battle for wins in JCTA and then it gets buried at the KEA level, and we've got to figure out a way to put the pressure, and we have been successful on the KEA into things to make some bold statements around racial equity in the last couple of years, but that's the critical piece. We need to be getting it out to teachers throughout the state. So Yvonne or Barbara, I'd love to hear from you on that.
Yeah,
I'm
Barbara.
sorry, I'm just tuning back in. I'm in my car after the doctor's visit.
Did you get your purse?
So I know I promised to produce some letters to the editor. Is that in?
Yvonne, I need you to answer Greg's question here. So we're asking, how do we get to KEA?
I am sort of friends with Eddie Hill.
Okay, that's good.
And I'm happy to talk to him. But Greg and Tia are smarter than I am. I think the 800-pound gorilla is not Eddie, but Brett. And I don't know anybody who has a good relationship with Brett who is not, let me see what the politic word to use is not compromised.
Oh,
Let me just use the word.
that was my word. Good word.
Okay, so there is a group of us, and Yvonne, you can come with us. We're trying to set up a meeting with Brett McKeon. And we
I'm
can
happy to go. I don't know if that would help you or hurt you.
Well, right now, we're not making any progress, so I don't know what else to try. I think we've got to meet with Brett, and I think we've got to convince him not only to support us, but go to KEA and convince KEA that this support has to happen.
Is this going to be a Zoom meeting and can I come? I promise to behave.
are you sure that your presence there is going to be effective?
If I'm just listening, for the most part, I think it helps with accountability because he'll gaslight whoever's in the room, and he's less likely to gaslight those of us that already know the truth. So
I think we should also act independently. There's
Okay.
no reason not to approach Eddie Campbell.
I agree with that.
Okay, okay.
And I think the two ways to phrase it is, first of all, this is, pardon my English, bullshit. Everybody knows that parents were online for a year and didn't say anything until the Heritage Foundation, underwritten by the Koch brothers and Fox News, decided there was an issue. For a year,
Yeah, you know what?
we knew this, but nobody said check.
So, Yvonne, we know all that, but you're going back to normally number one here, and we need to, down to number three. So, I don't want to be rude here, but we just have a finite amount of time, and we've got to get through these issues if we're going to make any progress here.
So let's get a meeting with Brent. Who's going to reach out to
Number three
Brent?
is go dumb down our kids for something that's not real.
Yvonne, we're focused on how to get a meeting with Brent. Who's going to do that?
Jim, I just emailed, I don't know if you all know David Allen. He was head of the education committee for Amy McGrath, and he works closely with KEA. I'll see if he has friends there, and he's willing. I know he's really concerned about this legislation. I'll just let you all know. You go ahead and plan, but that could be like a backup. And I think he works very well. He's very supportive. He's always been very supportive of KEA, and he may be, if he's willing, and if he knows people there, I will email all of you and let you know when I hear from you. But that could be a backup plan, okay?
That's a good idea.
That's your best bet.
Yeah, I'll see if David, I don't know if he's got contacts there now or not, but he's worked with them pretty closely over the past, and he's done political work with them. So I'll see what he says.
Okay.
Don't mention myself or Yvonne when you approach David just yet. We had a little falling out that is very reconcilable, but just don't mention us yet.
Oh, I won't. No, it's just between me and David. No, I'm not gonna
Well,
name
but
drop.
you're gonna be asking for his support with our coalition and stuff like that, right?
He's very supportive of trying to fight this legislation.
I understand, but just be aware that doesn't always mean we work together.
Yeah.
I think another thing to point out is, look at Texas. This is the thin edge of the wedge. They started with this, and now they've moved on to banning books.
Yvonne, we have to stay on the agenda. We know all that.
Yeah, you're way behind us, Yvonne.
We have to stay on the agenda.
I may be way behind, but the people you're talking about who are way more behind than me.
We know. We're just trying to figure out who's going to do what on this call because we have a lot to get through.
You know doesn't mean they know.
Okay, so KFTC. I know there are several people here that are members of KFTC. They are also a statewide organization, and they can help us because they have chapters all over the state. So if you are a member of KFTC, we need you to contact your chapter leaders. Make sure they understand how important these two bills are, and that they're on board to help us. I was hoping maybe what we could do is everyone takes one chapter and calls the leadership from whatever chapter you want to take, northeast, west, or south, and ask that leadership to bring that to the KFTC steering committee. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that, Jefferson County. I've been kind of prepping the way for that. I think it really, they want to see final bill language. So it may not be till after the session starts. But I think they're fully prepared to impose the language in the two bill requests.
Okay, thanks, Chris. What do you think about that, Rebecca Powell?
Do they want to include their logos in any of our activity books or bags?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. And you asked me. I can see that reasoning, but I think they're gonna pass on this really quickly. And, you can get a copy of the bills with all the different elements. I think I maybe have that, I'm not sure now. And I think this is the legislation. They need to act.
I agree.
I mean, Jim, you said something earlier when you talked about a representative, you know, we just can't afford to wait. They're really sleazy. I mean, they could pass this. They could not even take it through committee. I think Joey and I had that conversation. You know, they could take it and like immediately or send it to a different committee. I mean, we just need to do whatever we can like in the next 2 weeks.
I mean, if you remember 2017, they added a Saturday and passed 7 bills before the first week.
Yeah. So in terms of KTFC, you know, I think I mentioned that the Rolling Bluegrass is right on it, and they're, but I actually attended their meeting. I'm in Georgetown. That's the Georgetown group, and I think for each one of us, may even be too late, but we need to try to get on the agenda of our KFTC, our local KFTC. Just tell them, you know, it has to be on their agenda. That's how I got them fired up. I got on the agenda. I didn't know any of the people. I just said, this is what's happening, and you know, we need your support. And they were pretty appalled. Yeah, they were pretty much unaware and really appalled.
Okay.
If you go to the KFTC website, you can probably find the leaders of every chapter in the state, and might be able to reach out to folks that way. They usually have email addresses attached to those things, if I remember right. It might be just as easy to send a group email. Sometimes that's not the best way. Maybe a phone call is better, but given the time of year, it might be easier via email. And just see, you know, I know they have a tendency to wait on, I agree, they have a tendency to wait on what they're going to support and what they're going to push against. But they have legislative action days, you know, throughout the session. And so I'll have to go back and look at their calendar and see what they've got planned.
Tony, unfortunately, I did send emails to all of them, and I think phone calls though might work.
Yeah, I agree.
Phone calls. Okay. Okay. So everybody does that. We just all call chapters and say this is really important bill. Maybe we can get it to the steering committee. All right, that's a real good idea, Rebecca. Join. Thank you.
Well, and I think, Jim, you've laid the groundwork.
You're muted, Chris.
Sorry. I think you've already laid the groundwork with Lisa Abbott and Dave Newton, I think it is. And so I think if we can get people in other chapters to contact them, they'll be happy to move it forward. But it goes to the steering committee and then to a PAC, is my understanding of that. Rebecca, is that your understanding of it? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the Brittany. I can't remember her last name. Was head of our Rolling Bluegrass, but she did send an email out to the leadership of KTFC, hoping that they would pick it up, and I never heard from any of them. So it's been really discouraging. It honestly has. I think, you know, at this point, Chris, maybe phone calls might work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can
It
we?
wouldn't hurt. It definitely wouldn't hurt to contact them again, maybe multiple times.
Can I say something a little uncomfortable? Can I say something a little uncomfortable? This is a safe group. This lack of response and delays and waiting to pick a side and all of that is classic racism. I mean, this is what people of color experience all of their lives. So, you know, maybe we can even make whoever's in charge over at KFTC understand that that's how this is coming across. Because if you ask me, this is the most important piece of legislation that they've got on the docket for 2022. And everyone who's waiting to see is actually like siding with the oppressor, clearly.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're finished with KFTC, at least for now. That's a plan. We've got a plan to deal with them, so I'm hoping that they will come on board and help us out here. So there is a demonstration that's being planned for January 11th and 12th in Frankfurt. Rebecca is currently working to get permission to conduct that demonstration in the Capitol Rotunda. So, and that's another reason why we need KEA and JCTA, KFTC, all those organizations involved to get people out to Frankfurt and in that rotunda on those 2 days. So, fairness, I was hoping to get a hold of them. I haven't been able to get a hold of Chris Fartman. Gabe, maybe you've got some more success with that than I have, because they have chapters all over the state. So the things we've got to do between now and January 11th is we've got to contact the press, and we've got to get the message out to people all over the state that there will be a demonstration that will happen in the Capitol Rotunda January 11th and 12th, and we're playing in the afternoon because we know that teachers, hopefully we can get teachers to go, and they may have to wait before they can get out of school before they can get to Frankfurt. So I think Rebecca was at 5 o'clock when we were planning that demonstration. You're muted.
I thought I muted myself.
There you go.
Here's what I asked for. I asked for 12 to 5 on Tuesday, the 11th, and I asked for 3:30 to 6:30 on Wednesday, the 12th. And when we talked earlier, I know several of you were on this call before, we were going to invite several adults to speak, several fairly well-known folks to speak on Tuesday. And then Wednesday was going to be sort of devoted to teachers and students who would speak. So that's why we're trying to make it a little bit later so they can show up. But the question I have, since I have not heard from them about the rotunda, so is everybody, I assume we can still meet outside, right? Outside the Capitol. Everybody would be, I don't think you have to get special permission to do that, do you?
No. I mean, it depends on how many of us there are and whether or not we think we need to prepare for security and bathrooms and things like that.
Yes.
But if it's just, I mean, depending on how many, the grounds are, the public grassy areas are public, and you can.
Are public, right, right. So I guess I asked that because I'm not sure how much publicity we need to do, like right now. We maybe need to save it for another few days when we can get this sort of finalized, the dates and the times sort of finalized. But, you know, at this point, it definitely wouldn't hurt to reach out and say, we're planning rallies, and we really want your folks there, you know, but to give them specifics at this point, I'm not sure we ought to be doing that. And I also want to say that, I mentioned this before, but we have our Facebook site is Defenders of Accurate History. I'll type that in the chat. We have now over 700 people on that site, and this is a place where I'm hoping we can coordinate all of the information on the rally so that, you know, we'll post who's speaking, when to show up, what are you going to have give us ideas for signs, you know, people can share their ideas for signs. We can ask people to bring coworkers and friends, and so we're using that site to coordinate a lot of these initiatives, a lot of these strategies. So I would invite all of you just to join it. I know that you are working in Louisville and you sort of have your own initiative as well, which is great. I love that. But, you know, this might be a way for us to sort of be able to communicate about the rally. So I'm just gonna type the name of it in the chat box. And I just invite everybody to just type in, it's called Defenders of Accurate History. And, you know, just check it out and just join. Even if you're not an active participant on there, you can still get information just to help the coordination across the state.
You got it.
Okay, makes sense, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we gotta get prepared for that, and that also means contacting the press. And Greg Tishner, I don't know where he went to. That's good at that. Greg, you listening?
Yes, sir.
So what we're gonna need is some help contacting the press, and I know you have a list. Making sure they know about the demonstration that's gonna occur January 11th and 12th in Frankfurt. And so, anybody else wants to help with that, that'd be great. We've got to contact people, press in Lexington and Bowling Green, other cities as well, to get that information out.
I can help with the press release.
Hold off on that, just, you know, not forever, but just until it sort of burned up a little bit more. I hate to send out a message to all the press. It's not going to happen after all. Maybe I'm being too cautious because I feel a lot of weight on my shoulders to try to get this set up.
No, I don't. I think typically it's best to send it out like a week ahead of time. Is my so.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
You let us know, Rebecca.
I absolutely will let you all know. I've got everybody's email addresses.
Okay, all right. Okay, so yeah, and we've got to be aware. We've got to know more about more people than just people in Lexington and Lexington, more press in Louisville. So I have a friend, actually he's our friend, all of us, Barry Craig from Western Kentucky. If you read the Courier Journal, you know that he has put in 7 different op-ed pieces. CJ has printed 7. Lexington Herald Leader has printed a couple of his editorials, op-ed pieces, in the last few weeks. They've also printed Rebecca's op-ed pieces as well. So Barry Craig is now in the process of writing a history of this movement. And he's going to submit that history to the Louisville Courier Journal and the Lexington Herald Leader. And it will include the demonstration that we hope to pull off in Frankfurt. So I think that'll be some help. And then I guess we are down to, unless anybody has more questions, Isaac.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm connected to the local chapter in Louisville of the Democratic Socialists of America. They're most highly concentrated around the state in Jefferson County, obviously, but they have, I think, 450 members in Louisville, and a majority of those are teachers. So it's something that they should and can be aligned with. And I spoke with some folks about having that on the short list of their focus points for this coming year. They just kind of came to a close. Obviously, the year is ending. But just to think of other, I mean, just another national, local, statewide group that is, I think, worth getting behind this issue.
I agree. They tend to be younger too, and we definitely need to be bringing in more young people.
Yeah,
Isaac, I missed the first part of your statement. What group are you talking about?
Democratic Socialists of America,
Okay.
DSA.
excellent idea. Yeah. Excellent, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I had no idea teachers were involved, but okay. I didn't know any teachers that were.
Yeah, I mean, it's in terms of who, the professions of their members, the highest percentage is teachers, is JCPS teachers and public school teachers in general.
Had no idea.
Oh, kid, blow me away. All right.
Yvonne, did you know that? Go join them. Greg, are you a member?
Yeah, Yvonne, are you Jefferson County? Anyway,
Sorry, I had on mute. Yeah, I'm a DSA member too.
oh, cool, nice, you already are. Well, I was going to ask if you maybe you know then Yvonne or any of the other teachers or anyone on the call, is it legal or worthwhile to involve students in this organizing it?
Absolutely.
Like, for instance, if we did a postcard writing campaign or something like that, is it allowed? Would we be allowed to distribute that in schools, or I don't know? Would teachers be allowed to involve their students in writing to Congress on behalf of this? I don't know.
Yeah, Chris Harvard, you can get hold of Black Student Union.
I was thinking about the BSUs.
I think they can. I think
They
as long
could
as
do it
they're not.
outside of school. They could not
No.
do it. I've been a teacher ed for years and years. Could not do it in classrooms, but they could do it in any kind of groups outside of the classroom. Yes, they can do it. But it can't be an assignment in school.
I thought that as long as the teacher doesn't tell them what to think, but it's a critical writing assignment, and you can mail the letter or not mail the letter. I've done that in school before.
Yeah, if you include multiple perspectives, I've done this a lot. I mean, if you bring in multiple perspectives,
Yeah, that's what we would
you have
do.
somebody pro CRT and anti CRT, and you get them to talk, and the kids can use a discussion web, and they can talk about it back and forth, and
Why not?
they can decide on their own. Then yeah,
That's
they
what
can
I
write
would.
letters to the editor. They can do anything, but
That's
you've
what I
got
thought
to make
they meant.
sure that your diverse perspectives can share.
Well,
I mean, that might be worth designing a small, simple kind of like curriculum packet that's like a classroom activity that has
Yeah.
perspective
we can
from
put
both
it in our book.
sides, and then like a letter sort of prompt for students to write with. I don't know.
Well, Grant, Isaac, I have to tell you, I've been involved with a couple of teachers. One of them I've been trying to get for like a week to see if she actually followed up on what she said she was going to do with her middle schoolers. And they were going to write letters together. They were going to, I was hoping that they would speak, someone would speak at the rally. And I have a feeling that somebody got to her. There are superintendents out there that, we're looking outside of Louisville now. I'm talking outside of Louisville. Maybe people in Louisville can do it, but these
Not
teachers
everyone.
are scared. They are scared. They
Nobody
are
wants to
scared.
be in the spotlight. Nobody wants to be the district or the school that
Well,
Grant
and if
is
you
on.
look at these schools and these little communities are the biggest employers. And their uncles work for the school district, and their bus drivers, and their neighbor works for the school district, and it's just hard for teachers. It's hard for them to get involved. I even thought I had a principal middle school out in who I know pretty well, out in Ashland, and she was all gung ho. She was trying to get her teachers involved, and oh yeah, we're gonna email her, we're gonna contact her. Never heard from any of them. So it's just such a hot button. I'm not saying it's not a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I've been involved in student activism for like my whole career, but this issue for some reason there just are not. It's not happening.
I think part of it is the same thing that came up with masking
And COVID.
and virtual instruction. I and a bunch of other teachers tried to organize in Western Kentucky. These same people who had gone out to save their pensions would privately tell me they were afraid they were going to die, not lose their pension, but die. And they were too scared to walk out. So, I mean, if they're not going to walk out to save their lives, I don't see them doing it for this, even though this is a worthy cause. And I thought about it for a long time. What was the difference? And I think the difference was that the superintendents, the principals, the people at the main office were on the same side.
They're all
They
white.
didn't want their pensions screwed. So that if you walked out, you weren't really taking on the man.
Well, that's true.
They weren't on the same side. And,
You're right. You're right.
That's true in Jefferson County as well. JCPA administration is on our side on this issue. I don't know about Fayette County. I'm not sure about that, but yeah,
I'm not
we've been to the
convinced.
board, we delivered speeches. Marty Polio has been on Cheryl Deal's Facebook page. He was just enraged over these two bills. So at least as far as Jefferson County, the biggest district in the state, the administration is on our side on this issue.
So I think they put on a good game, but their actions speak louder than their words, and I'm not seeing the actions, Jim. It doesn't match.
You're not watching, gang. You're not watching. Chris, tell us about the lobbying that's going on behalf of JCTA. Quickly, please.
You mean about Chuck Truesdale?
Yes.
He's the new lobbyist there, and he's been sorting this issue out with Republican leadership as well as Democratic leadership since the summer. He thinks that the House is going to just blow this bill right through and pass it very quickly, which
Well,
is, I think.
That's him covering his butt. No.
But he's less sure that the Republican leadership in the Senate is supportive of it because they already have gun control, abortion bills coming, and redistricting, which should solidify their power, their supermajority, and add to that. And they have their own problems with some of the people Rebecca's been talking about on the Republican side, the really far right folks who actually, threat could be. There might be conservatives who couldn't buy into them. So I think they're really trying to figure this thing out. And Polio has said in board meetings that he thinks that the Kentucky Association of School Superintendents is likely to take a position on this and certainly actively lobbying on it. I don't know the details.
So can I add to that? When Corey Schill came to our legislative agenda meeting back in July, he said that their primary goal and their primary strategy was to work with GLI and get the business leaders and business community to come out against this bill and say it was bad for business. And we haven't seen any of that. And I called Corey earlier this week and just said, what's the status? And he was like, oh, I haven't seen anything either. So he was going to make some calls. But we can't just wait on them to save the day, because what happens oftentimes too is groups that have different interests that are, being the champions of our message end up settling and saying, oh, well, yeah, if you strike that line and just make it this, then yeah, we can be quiet. And then the rest of us are like, wait a minute, we weren't okay with that, but we get shut out. And it's usually the little people, the people that are harmed the most, that end up not being heard because of somebody more powerful and more white being the ones with the seat at the table. So even if what you say is true and they really are doing all they say they're going to do, I've been in this seat enough times to know that we can't trust them. They make backroom deals. They still support a white supremacist, structurally racist system. That's what they like. They benefit from it because that's how they stay in power. Brent McKim does not want to give up any of his power. Marty Pollio does not want to give up any of his power. They will tell you they're doing one thing while secretly meeting with Republicans and saying, oh, we got you, we got you. They gave Jason Nemes's wife a choice teaching job, and they bypassed 7 more qualified internal applicants so that they could hold a position that she wasn't even qualified for open until she got her certification. They extended the offer to her before she was even qualified. She applied before she was even qualified. There was somebody with 8 years ESL teaching experience that applied for that job that got passed over so that they could make a space for a kindergarten teacher that had not even taught those same grades yet, that didn't have her ESL certification, so she could have that East End choice ESL teaching position. So we know that they're making these deals and treating each other favorably. And so even if they tell us to our faces and even pretend that they're on our side when push comes to shove, they're on their side. And, you know, JCTA has a lot of money. JCPS has a lot of money. If they truly support our campaign, they will help us pay for these bags. Why are we going to put their logo and give them credit for the work if they're not ponying up any of this? So those are my thoughts. I'm out.
All right, well, I still think we have to approach JCTA with our 6,000 teachers.
Sure.
And we have to figure out a way to get this message to those teachers. And JCPA is the only way that I know to do that. So, in fact, JCPS has a lobbyist that is now working on these bills, opposing these 2 bills, says something for JCPS.
It doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I'd like to suggest we invite Tyra and Tia to that discussion if they're available as well.
Just because they have a lobbyist doesn't say anything. Abby Piper was their lobbyist, and she left the firm because she wasn't able to do her job, is what I heard.
Yeah, I think Tyra would make a great, if we can get her, she can find the time to do this. So I don't know what happened to Barbara, but Barbara, you're still there?
I'm here. I had the wrong Zoom link, and then I had problems. Anyway, I'm here.
So Greg Kishner, you and I, Kamar Rashad, Tyra, Ivan, who else?
Natalie Rashad is the key.
Natalie Rashad, yeah. If we can get those people with a meeting with the program here, I think we can make some progress.
I have been in contact with Brent. I mean, of course, you guys can go ahead and do the same thing. And Brent has given me a number to call to meet with him. But you guys, you go ahead too, because
why don't you just set up a meeting with them and all of us will come?
I think I talked to you about it, Jim, and you said just go ahead and meet with him, that you didn't need to be there. We talked about it the other day.
Well, yeah. So Barbara, I'm wondering what we're saying now is that if we can get Natalie, Rashad, Tyra, those people, we may have more impact here.
I think it's a great idea to have Natalie there. She has always been a spokesperson for Brent. And if you want to know what Brent's thinking, you ask Natalie.
Are you talking about Natalie Rashid?
I'm talking about Natalie Rashad.
Rashad, oh, I didn't know that.
She's a big Brent backer, and she is not going to have a position different than his. So if you want to know what Brent's thinking, ask Natalie what she thinks.
Isn't she on KEA as well, Yvonne?
She is on KEA, but KEA representatives can also attend the JCTA.
Yeah, they gave her and she's also on their PAC. They put her on that too.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They gave. Oh, you're talking about Natalie. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about Natalie. Yeah, she got that BSK spot.
She sure did. That was a questionable election.
No doubts about that.
And how's that spreadsheet where they were quantifying the candidates? These bill sponsors need to be getting bad marks so they don't get JCTA endorsements. We need to make sure she's aware of who she needs to not support in the PAC.
I'm not sure she has the freedom to make a decision like that.
Well, then she needs to tell us that.
I'm just saying. They pretty much vote as a block.
But that's why she got elected, was because she was going to make that spreadsheet, remember?
Well, whatever. I wasn't wrong with that.
I think Greg Kishner is right. I think we need Natalie Rashad. We need you. We need Yvonne. I'd be happy to attend if you can get this set up. But you're probably gonna have to get a hold of Natalie to convince her.
You know, I think differently, but I'll do what I can.
I can reach out to Natalie if that's better for you both.
Yeah.
What's that?
Now, I think all you have to do is ask her or Kumar. And they'll be there. Kumar's the heir apparent to Brett. Not gonna miss this. If anything, I'd ask either one of them. But if I were gonna ask, I'd ask Kumar. He'll be there for sure.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of Kumar for a while.
So what do you want to do, Barb? Do you look frustrated?
I'll talk to you later, Greg. Right now, let me just think about it, because I'm listening to people that feel one way. I didn't really know that Natalie was that close to Brett, but I know Kumar pretty well, and I just want to talk to him. And then I will pass the baton on to you, Greg, if you think you could, go ahead and get it through, because I missed all the first half of the meeting. So, let me just catch up. But as of now, I'll do what I can to do what I can.
Okay. All right, so let's move on. Gabe, you want to talk about fundraising? Gabe.
Me? Yeah, sure. So we had our fundraiser kickoff, which went really well. We got to sample the lasagna tonight or tomorrow. What is today? Today at midnight is the final day to place your order for to make a donation of $100 or $175 and get lasagna dinner delivered. Nicole S. is our caterer, and she's making half pans and full pans of lasagna, salad, or tiramisu. And on December 22nd, we will deliver those meals to the people who donate those dollar amounts. Either in $100 gets you a serving of 12, and $175 gets you a serving of 24, like half pan or full pan. And we have people out delivering them, so it'll come and be left on your doorstep. So we need to know, you need to make sure you're going to know what time and be there. We'll coordinate all that with the donors, with the people that donate. But that's kind of like our big fundraiser. And then we're also selling, we're giving away, let me start by saying we're giving away these. I have 1,000 of these bags, and inside them will all of them will get an activity book. And it's still being revised, but we're on the third draft now. And if anyone wants to help with the edits, we're going to print our first edition of this book tomorrow night after we get all the edits. So we'll have maybe like 200 of them ready to go, with 200 bags ready to go. so that any requests for free kits that come in over the holiday, we can fulfill as volunteers become available or as people want to pick them up. And so I'm just trying to make sure I have enough ready because I'm leaving town, so I'm trying to make sure I have enough ready so that people aren't waiting on me. And then, if we get more orders, we can fill them after the break. I'll be back January 3rd. I also have someone who has a key to my house and the key to my shop. If we need to make arrangements to get more of anything, we can do that. So let's play it by ear, I guess is what I'm really saying. But it's scalable, and we've got something ready to go this week. And then as people start getting them in their hands, we're going to get content suggestions and make more edits and maybe make a statewide version as well. Like, this is kind of really Jefferson County specific, but you swap out a few pages and put some local organizations out in Western Kentucky, and now you have a Western Kentucky edition. So, this is easy to replicate, easy to disseminate. And in order to help pay for it, we really would like corporate and nonprofit sponsors to help just pick up the costs. Like, I think these bags are costing us maybe $2.50 to $3 each to make. And so if, we've got 5 sponsors, we could put their logos on the back and make enough money to not only offset the cost of the ones we've already made, but invest in more and get more out in people's hands and buy more bags and make more, buy more of the crayons. So the bag itself, plus the activity book that I mentioned, plus a box of crayons, which I don't have any with me, but they're the 24 count Crayola crayons that are the multi colors of the world crayons. And then it also comes with a free COVID kit because Louisville PTO gave me 1,000 boxes of these rapid 10-minute COVID tests. And, with Omicron spreading so rapidly, it's actually kind of fun to do. We did it like a family game night one night. We opened it up and all did our little tests. It's quick and easy to do. And one of the pages in the book is going to talk about COVID statistics. And, teaching truth involves not just history, but also science and facts. And the disinformation campaigns that are related to COVID are related to the anti-CRT legislation that we're fighting. So we might as well put some facts in our book related to the masks. And there's an activity that they can design a mask that basically says, it's a contest. So this is just one example of one of the pages, but designing a mask that indicates like why you wear a mask. And it's better safe than sorry. It's I wear because I care. Get some ideas along those lines that they can contribute and participate. And that's why now it makes sense why there's a COVID test in the bag. So let's see. We also have window decals and buttons, and something unicorn related will be in every one of these bags. And then that is for free. There's a link on the allhistorymatters.com website where if you want a bag for free, you come in and you fill it out. And I haven't checked in the last 48 hours, but we are getting some requests, so it seems to be working. So now if we just start blasting that we have these things available and let these organizations know that they can share these out with their members and their families and whomever, I think we'll start seeing more interest and more demand. And then when we run out and we go back to the organizations that were sending us people and say, help us print more, help us make more. And their logos can also go on the back of the book. I have a space for logos on the back as well. So those who are contributing, even grassroots groups that don't have any funds to contribute, if you're contributing to the labor, you will get a page and a logo and whatever else you want and need in the book. And then we also have our online store, which is where you can buy shirts and mugs, and we're going to have yard signs. And the thing about the yard signs is we'll get them printed on a certain day and put them in people's yards on that certain date. Like, we have to identify what that key date is, and then we'll put them out like that. If you buy the yard signs, it includes installation, and then that's what we need more volunteers for. Thank you, Joni, by the way, for stepping up and offering to make some deliveries with me on Thursday. So, this is how we get it done. And I don't ask people to do things I wouldn't be willing to do myself, and I'm trying to keep it to a scale that if it's all on me, then it's all on me. But if we get help and we can double it or triple it or quadruple it, then that's just more reach that we have. But I think something Rebecca said earlier interested me, and that is, we don't want to get the word out and then have to cancel it. We're not canceling any of this. Even if we just even if it's just 2 of us that show up, we need to be there. We need to be putting pressure on people. And I'm willing to commit to being in Frankfurt on those rally days. So if it's just you and me, girl, it's just you and me, but we're not canceling anything. Let's get her done. And I think that if you guys have any questions about the fundraisers, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Gay. Isaac.
Sorry,
That's all right. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your puppet show and that endeavor?
Yeah, sure. We have made a puppet show about the Anne Braden and case back in 1954. It's been how we make our money, so it's been like unavailable for viewing except through where we presented it through the JCPS system, but it's free viewing online right now. And we just did a screening of the event where we have an opportunity to talk about these bills and different ways that we can organize against them. You can learn lessons from the lives organizing whites to join the racial justice. There. So we want to keep on, using this as a tool, like teaching. I think that we feel we're in a kind of unique position regarding this bill because we don't want to get any teachers fired for using our curriculum, but we also are not going to get fired from JCPS because we're not JCPS teachers. So we have scheduled plans to show the film in schools, and we're interested in forming coalitions of people who can protect teachers. Or I don't know. There was a lot of good ideas that came out of the meeting the other day. Again, somewhat inspired by the events in the film and the just the legacy of organizing of the Bradens. We're doing a fundraiser to support bringing the show for free to more schools. Yeah, we'd also, I think, be really happy to try to provide the show. There's also this anti-racist curriculum that developed with
Okay, so you know what, Isaac? I'm gonna send you an email about professional in-service and JCPS. That might be a way to get into schools. In-service.
It's like professional development type.
Yeah, for teachers.
Yeah. That's definitely a resource we haven't fully tapped yet that we'd really like to figure out how to.
In fact, I'll send you my phone number. We can chat about it for a few minutes. So yeah.
Put that on your list of things to ask Brent. Maybe he can help make that happen.
Okay. All right. So do we want to set a date for a new meeting? We're still going to have to come up with strategies for putting together this demonstration. Everything else is still on the table, really. So I don't know what you think, folks.
I did want to mention this, sorry, just because it's related to Squal's puppeteers. We have these large puppets, including various figures from the civil rights movement and Anne Braden, and Maddie Jones, local figures. So for the demonstration, just as something to show up with and be strange and sort of unarguable. We have Abraham Lincoln. This is Ruby Bridges, which would be a great person to bring. Anyway, they're very tall. When you put them on, it's like 8 or 9 feet tall.
And Isaac, we talked about Dr. Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history.
That's right. I got it on my
that
list.
We cannot leave out.
Yeah. I'll call you tomorrow, Barbara.
Okay, good.
Right. Anyway, just thinking of the Rotunda protest.
Good idea. Good idea. Real good idea. Yeah. So Danita, I'm wondering if you've got what you need here. If you want to talk some more, you can give me a call. Send me your email. I'll send you my phone number. So another date, folks. Anybody have an idea? Practitioner?
Thank you. All right.
I'm pretty flexible before January 3rd.
Chris?
I'm out of town as of Sunday for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna be out of town too, but it's a Zoom call, right?
For when school begins again, Tuesdays are bad days for teachers.
Yeah.
Are we talking about before school resumes? Something before January 3rd?
I didn't know which one it was, so I just wanted to add once school begins.
I think we need to meet again before then. We can't wait until we're under the, behind the 8 ball. Can we meet between Christmas and New Year's?
Okay with me.
I think I can make that work. Not sure how useful I can be, but I can try. Yeah.
When does school start?
For teachers, it starts Monday, January 3rd. For kids, Monday, January 4th. The third is like a training day. In my case, I got the afternoon kind of free-ish, but that is not true for everyone. In some schools, they schedule you, they shove a donut in your mouth and a cup of coffee as you come in, and they control your soul till they kick your ass out at 4. Just depends on where you teach.
She meant Tuesday for students, by the way.
Yes, I did mean Tuesday for students, my mistake. Monday for teachers, Tuesdays for students.
Okay, so 27th, 28th, 29th?
Twenty 29th-ish? Like middle of the week? Oh, Greg put the 29th. That's a Wednesday.
29th is good by me.
It is a Wednesday, but Danita put the 28th. Sorry, I didn't see you put something before I jump in there. U of L's bowl game is the 28th.
I thought the game was canceled. I saw it on news this morning.
Okay.
Well, then that means a bunch of people have a free schedule and no excuses.
I'm good with either, whatever works for most.
28th works good for me.
Sounds good.
Barbara?
That's good.
Yvonne?
28th is fine by me. I've got something at 7:30, but I suspect it's going to be canceled.
Okay. Isaac? Okay. Anybody have a time? Same time, 3:30 maybe?
The earlier the better for me.
Okay, Barbara, give us a time. You're muted.
Let's do 2.
2. How's that sound, folks?
Two's good.
What's the deal with the Zoom link? It was really difficult to get it for both of the last 2 meetings. I can host it and share it right now or whatever. Can we?
You know, that would be good for us to get it because it took me an hour and a half to get in. Then I got in and it kicked me out. So if we could have one link now, would be good.
Isaac, you want to host it?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll just stay on here for 1 second. I'll put it in the chat.
And also send it to us.
Just 1 second. I'll have to paste it in here.
Okay.
I'm worried about whether I can send an email to the group. The listserv is weird for me so far. So can someone just volunteer to take it from the chat and copy it?
I will. I can, but other people can too. I don't have to be the only one.
PM on the 29th, is that correct?
28th. 28th.
Yeah, whoops.
Wednesday, is that a Wednesday? No, wait, Tuesday. Tuesday the 28th.
All right, I made it the wrong time. I can edit it though. The link will still work.
Okay.
Somebody copy that link, and I'll try and send it out to the group as well.
All right.
Been reliable for some reason. All right, I'm gonna hop off here, folks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Everybody, thank you, Brett. Really
Thanks,
appreciate it.
everyone.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Julia.
Good night,
Thanks,
John
Chris.
Boy.
Bye, Dave. Bye, Greg. Thanks, Barbara. See you in a few minutes, Barbara and Chris.
Okay.
Bye.